Do you want to win the war before you even start the fight? In this video, I'll show you the 3-step plan that sets you up to defeat your enemies before they even know they're in a fight. And at the end, give you a chance to pick how to use step 3 in our current campaign, Star Trek New Worlds. So raise shields, charge weapons, and let's get ready to rumble. Step 1. Laying plans. The skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He captures their cities without laying siege to them. He overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. In our setting of the Star Trek New Worlds campaign, the Klingon Empire has targeted its neighbor, the Carnarvon. This is a neighboring faction with a similar economic power but larger and stronger military force. The Carnies, for short, are engaged in a protracted war in defense of their ally, the Hydrans, against the combined might of the Reman and ISC Northern Alliance. This over decades-long conflict has seen the Carnarvon move the overwhelming majority of their military to face the Northern Alliance, leaving the southern Klingon-facing border particularly vulnerable. But simply catching the Carnarvon out of position is not enough. To be successful, the Klingons will need to have the supply lines and logistical support to maintain a long-term conflict, while concurrently denying that same thing to the Carnarvons. For this game, this means building bases and having the reach to strike deep into enemy territory. Over the last 10 turns before the start of the Klingon attack, the Carnarvon and Hydran Southern Alliance have been struggling in their war against the Northern Alliance. They asked for help. As part of the negotiations, the Klingons gained access and permission to build bases deep in Carnarvon territory, along with fleets to support an eventual attack. With fleets pre-positioned and supply lines fixed, this set up the second phase of Step 1, winning fast. In war, then, let your object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. Whether it's shock and awe or scoring quick wins on the scoreboard, identifying and leveraging those wins early is critical to success. In our first step, Klingon forces focused on logistics and economy, or more specifically, denying the Carnarvons the resources and capacity to wage war against us, and at the same time building our own base and supply network while capturing resources to help pay for it. At the start of Phase 1 of the Klingon campaign, we gradually built up bases and the infrastructure to provide supply and the capacity to repair and defend key pillars of strength. The end of Phase 1 was marked by the launch of our attack and the strategic targeting and destruction of Carnarvon bases, eliminating their supply lines and capacity to repair and support a prolonged war. Phase 2 of our best laid plans saw the decisive capture of economic resources. Leveraging our pre-built supply lines, the Klingon Empire was able to grow its economy by almost a quarter, and at the same time shrink the Carnarvon income by a third. At its conclusion, Step 1 has the Klingon economy more than twice the size of the Carnarvon's. With the Carnies having lost their critical supply infrastructure, they have also lost access to half of their territory and the ability to fight a war on that front. Step 2. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. In Star Trek New Worlds, there are milestones of technological discovery that bring with them new and stronger weapons, defenses, and capabilities. At the time of this campaign, the Klingon Empire has reached the milestone of MTech. Having taken time before Phase 1 to upgrade and build a number of units that leverage these new technologies, the Klingon fleet can outmaneuver and overpower the Carnarvon's previous era ships. The Carnarvon have more overall ships with 120 total hulls to the Klingons' 91, or a third more ships to play with. Klingon M ships are between 50 to 75% stronger offensively and can inflict more damage than their Carni counterparts. So while the Carnarvons have more ships, the Klingons will soon, if not already, overpower them in each battle. To take advantage of this Klingon strength, we will fight in harassing engagements away from the big fleets, focusing instead to choose battles where the numbers are even or chances of Klingon victories are almost certain. The first phase of the second step will see faster, more maneuverable Klingon ships strike deep, eliminating the last of the Carnarvon economy and infrastructure. The second phase will see a buildup of casualties and crippled ships, overwhelming the few Carnarvon repair facilities that remain. At the end of the second phase, the Carnarvon will be economically crippled, with close to half their pre-war income in Klingon coffers. Their infrastructure and base network will be a shattered memory, with only a few strongholds remaining. And their once commanding fleet will be hobbled, unable to recover from the continuous combat with a more capable foe. This sets us up for step 3, and where you get to decide what's next. Option 1. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. Despite facing overwhelming force, having crippled infrastructure, and a lack of resources to recover, the complete elimination of the Carnarvon will require a siege of their capital system. This is where they are strongest, and to take their capital will be costly in time and treasure. So instead of attempting a clean knockout, perhaps offering the Carnarvon terms that could see them survive and recover could be a reasonable alternative. Total death kills, or TDKs, eliminate the player, the faction, and ends their game. By allowing them to survive with multiple options on how to grow and recover, the fun continues. And who knows what the future can bring. Option number 2, an alliance. This is a game with 10 player factions. As players are eliminated and their wealth is absorbed by the survivors, these ever larger conquerors become juicier targets. Limited in each player's maximum capacity to build new units, the law of diminishing returns starts to take effect once players are eliminated. Multiple smaller player factions are more nimble, have a greater combined industrial output, and are incentivized to combine against a larger common enemy. If the Carnarvon were to instead ally themselves with the Klingons in some way, then the Klingons would avoid becoming the most attractive target on the map, and gain a useful partner in the process. The Carnarvons would avoid total destruction and enjoy the protection of their now larger neighbor. Option number 3. If you know your enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. In the case of the Carnarvon, they have proven consistent in being opportunistic. They attacked the Klingons with little cause to claim a small economic gain. They allied with the Hydrans when it appeared a victory would be swift, though they were mistaken. They will certainly attack in the future if not eliminated in full today. With that perspective, the TDK option is for you. Instead of always wondering and keeping units tied down with the Carnarvon, eliminating them today could free up their capital system resources for Klingon investment, eliminate the anxiety of not knowing when that backstab will come, and allow the Klingons room to ally themselves with stronger allies in the future. So which choice would you make? Number 1, peace and a way out. Number 2, alliance and collaboration. Or 3, total death kill. Keep in mind, there are many other factions still in the game and many more turns yet to come. So put your choice and reasons why in the comments below, and let's see which is the most popular outcome. Want to see which one is used? Well, then hit subscribe and join us on our next live stream to see how this campaign unfolds. And if you want to test your mettle as an Armchair Admiral, then join us as a Ko-fi or Patreon supporter. We have more campaigns in the works, and Ko-fi supporters or patrons on Patreon get first crack at joining the next campaign. Be part of our growing player community as we share the fun and strategy of wargaming in the Starfleet universe. Want to get a head start? Well, check out this tutorial playlist here.